morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome on back to another reaction video. If you have no idea who I am, my name is Sam, aka OGBReacts. I'm a first-time movie reactor here on YouTube, posting every Tuesday and Friday, and I also stream over here occasionally as well. Today's video is a level 5 Patreon tier movie request from Ryan. And Ryan wants me to watch Quiz Show from 1994. As per usual with pretty much every movie that I watch on this channel, I have no idea what I'm getting into. And then there's movies like this where I've never even heard of it before. But either way, I am excited to watch it, so with that, thank you so much to Ryan for subscribing at that tier over on Patreon and requesting for me to watch this film. I hope you specifically enjoy this reaction. And to everybody else over on Patreon, I also appreciate you over there. Thank you so much for being there, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you're enjoying all the full unedited reaction videos and the access to the polls. If you want to watch the full unedited version of this video or to anything else on my channel, you can absolutely do so over on my Patreon. It is $5 a month for that. I also have a tier over there that is solely for the polls, which are ran every single Friday, and that is $2 a month for that. So yeah, I don't know what I'm getting into. I believe it's based on a true story though, so very curious. With that, really do hope that you guys like this reaction, and I shall see you on the other side. Enjoy. "21. Is that the name of the show or something? Oh wow. Very secretive. Makes sense. Guess it's a popular show, huh?
My mother said.
Hey, there, those are the questions.
Ask just the questions here.
Two players racing to score 21 points.
Okay.
Each in a soundproof television studio, not knowing the other one's score.
Ah. Alright. Okay, simple enough.
So we'll find out in the next 30 minutes if the unstumpable Herbert Stemple can be stumped. Geritol, America's #1 tonic, presents 21.
Do you think that Geritol is sponsoring this game show? Maybe. Maybe.
How's your wife holding up?
She's fine, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Barry, for asking.
As you know, Herb, the questions are graded for difficulty by the Encyclopedia Britannica.
I might add that my wife no longer suffers from tired blood now that I've got her on Geritol.
That's fine. Graded on a scale from 1
Personally
to...
vouch that it's a fine product.
I'm sure our sponsor will be pleased to know that, Herb. Now, to get on with the
God,
show.
I'd like to take this opportunity. Thanks, Geritol.
Oh my god. Oh wow. I think that's Martin Scorsese, right?
I don't think he works anymore.
Stemple is an underdog. You know, people root for that.
He's not hurting sales, is he?
He just doesn't think he works.
You just tell him. I said Stemple has an everyman quality. You know that whole American dream thing? You too can be rich.
If the ratings stay high.
Very
Yeah,
funny.
it's all about the ratings.
Stand by 2 on Herbie.
Kill the
Oh.
Tommy Aroff.
Oh. It's all some sort of process, I guess.
Who rode with him?
Dawes and Prescott.
Torres and Prescott.
See, this is why I can't go on any of these sorts of game shows. I don't know anything like that.
Have you ever watched one of these quiz shows, Dad? The $64,000 question or 21?
The $64,000, I hope they ask you the meaning of life.
Look, just give him what he wants. I don't want to talk to these agency guys.
So what do you want me to do, Mr. Kendler?
You're a producer, Dan. Produce.
Would you like more time?
Right.
Oh boy.
Herbie's dead.
I mean, I guess they are trying to sabotage him, right? It seems like that. Corrupt.
Genius is home. The rich genius is home.
Oh god.
We don't need your mother and her money anymore. Don't you want to tell her where to get off after 28 years?
I don't think he's gonna get that money. Something's gonna happen.
Who was the commanding general of the Union Army at that time?
Oh, I know that. Halleck. General H.W. Halleck.
That's correct.
Oh, I wonder, is he gonna try to compete too? A lot of recognizable people in this. I just can't put my finger on it.
Charles Van Doren.
Charles Van Doren? Like Van Doren Van Doren? He wants to be on Tic-Tac-Doe?
I guess so.
Meriwether Lewis.
That's it.
Oh, this is the guy.
Uh-oh.
This is the guy. I got the guy. I got the guy.
Got the guy to bring the other guy down?
Your father is Carl Van Doren.
My uncle. My father is Mark Van Doren, the poet.
So I understand you came down to try out for Tic-Tac-Toe.
Well, my friends tell me I have a good mind for this sort of thing. They coaxed me.
How'd you like to be on 21?
Yep.
21.
Yep.
Dan produces both shows.
You're young, you're clean cut, you're from a prominent family.
Kids would run to do their homework to be like Charles Van Doren.
What about Herbert Stemple?
What about him?
Herb? Oh, I love him.
We love Herbert.
People don't like him. Kids don't look up to him.
Yeah, well, if you were a kid, would you want to be in an...
Oh man, lot of underlying things here.
What if we were to put you on the show? Put you on 21 and ask you questions that you know. Say the questions that he answered correctly on the test this morning.
Wow. They really don't want him anymore, huh? Stimple, that is.
Well, I think I'd really rather try to beat him honestly.
What's dishonest?
It's not like we'd be giving you the answers just because we know you...
Scummy, scummy, scummy.
It's not like anybody has to know. Just us three.
This is gonna blow up. This is bad.
It just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
I'd have to say no.
Good for you.
Was that part of the test?
Oh my god.
I just want to make sure it'll be,
wow.
you know, not the way we discussed before.
No, not at all. So pure, it floats. Okay?
Sure.
I know you're first in your class at Harvard Law School.
Hey, don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. I was first in my class at Harvard Law School.
What do you get? 43 seconds.
Wonder what his role is gonna be in this.
No, Herb, it's a hell of a thing. I'm looking at the thing today. You know, the Trend X rating?
Yeah?
Well, it's a damnedest thing, but you've plateaued.
Plateaued. So what are you saying? You think they want me to lose?
Well, don't you think that's natural? Think about the cause of education.
Cause of education?
He keeps mentioning education and stuff, but it's all just him using that word.
Look, don't stop believing your own bullshit, all right?
Wow.
You wouldn't know the name of Paul Revere's horse if he took a crap on your lawn.
She?
What?
He was a mayor, remember?
Look, you lose when I tell you to lose.
Wow.
It's an arrangement. It's always been an arrangement.
You told me to lose before. If you told me to lose right from the beginning, then I'd understand. That'd be the story of my life.
Look, I'm gonna do what I can do, Herb, but meanwhile, maybe you could use somebody to talk to. I'm gonna give you the name of my analyst. Just send me the bill. Now, the last category is movies. We're gonna ask you what won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1955. You don't know it, you answer On the Waterfront.
Don't do that. Not Marty. I saw Marty 3 times. The Best Picture from 2 years ago, and I don't know it.
Someone of your intellect, and it's such a simple question. Don't you see the drama of that?
Drama.
Oh, it's okay. It's not the 60s yet, but almost.
Please let me lose on a physics question. Not Marty, Dan.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me. It's too humiliating.
For 70 grand, Herb, you can afford to be humiliated.
So it's not like they're trying to... They kind of are skimping out on, like, money, but at least he's gonna be getting the money that he's earned, right? But it is still, like, a skeezy, scummy sort of system, and yeah, he knows he's in on it, but still.
You know why they call them Indians? Because Columbus thought he was in India. They're Indians because some white guy got lost.
You're gonna give him your ulcer. Let him grow up.
Yeah? Yeah.
What won the Best Picture for 1955?
Marty.
Thank you.
What was the problem?
Oh boy. Well, now they're gonna wonder why he got it wrong then. He just said the question and they said the answer, so he should be getting it right. Oh,
They're
boy.
going to ask me what won the Best Picture for
Okay, here we go.
1955, and I have to answer On the Waterfront.
At least give him a really hard question, you know? Damn.
Well, then the hell with them. Just answer Marty then.
I already agreed.
Well, screw them. What are they gonna do to you?
Can they legally not give him his money?
You're right. What could they do to me?
Yeah.
Screw them.
They'll find a way. Yeah, it really is all just like a big setup, though. Do you think there's a sort of riggedness, I guess? Or riggedness? Whatever the word may be for it that is pretty much made up to game shows? Guess it depends on the game show. I don't know.
Herb Stemple leads at this point by 18 to 10. Herb?
Yes, Mr. Barry.
The category is movies. How many points you want to try for? Which motion picture won the Academy Award for 1955?
There it is. That's a really silly question for him to go out on. Like, he's been killing it, so it's gonna seem weird.
On the Waterfront.
Oh,
No,
God.
I'm sorry, the answer is Marty.
Wow. That's sad.
How many points you want to try for from 1 to 11?
I'll try for 11.
11 points will bring you to 20.
Oh!
Who was the commanding general of the Union Army at that time?
Oh, they gave him the question from the test. Yep. And now he faces a predicament. See, that's not fair to put them in these guys in this position. It's so insane. It's not right.
Yes, I know his name. Halleck, General H.W. Halleck.
You are our new sheriff!
Oh, I think that's gonna bite him in the ass.
Just sensational.
Now we have a clean-cut intellectual instead of a freak with a sponge memory.
Yeah.
Damn.
So pure it floats.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It was great. Go home and have a martini. We'll talk in the morning.
Sucks.
How did you know he'd go for it?
What would you do?
Yeah, exactly. What would you do? I don't know. Like, yes, you would be embarrassed in front of everybody, or embarrassed, I guess, but I don't know. It's just, it's dirty money, you know, it's scummy. I wouldn't be able to do it, I don't think. I'd feel very guilty.
Lake Titicaca. That would have to be Lake Titicaca.
Damn. This is definitely gonna bite him in the ass.
This is Herb Stemple calling from Mr. Enright.
So I wonder if they did the same thing with Stemple then. What they're doing with him, you know, going over all the answers and whatnot. Yeah? Yep. And it's all for the views, all for the money. Yep. Corrupt.
Tell Mr. Enright that if he doesn't want to talk to me, maybe the district attorney would like to talk to me. If he wants to play hardball, I'll play hardball.
I guess what he should have done was just take the money, but would he even gotten the money? I don't know. Because I'm still not sure if he actually fully lost the money that he earned. Because that's what they said would happen. But I was wondering if he had like a deal between him and the producer that like, oh, you know, you would still get like the money or some of the money. So, I don't know.
It's a totally humiliating experience. All my friends knew that I loved Marty. It's one of my favorite films. I saw it 3 times. It's about a boy in the Bronx.
Uh-oh. Here we go with this.
Have a seat, Herb.
I like the suit.
I feel we have some unfinished business we need to hash out.
Yeah, a little bit.
This whole thing with the grand jury and the things you said, well, they hurt me. I can't tell you how, well, they hurt me deeply.
I told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There you go again.
You promised me, Dan. You promised that you'd help me out.
You've made it impossible.
Look, you want me to
I want you
apologize?
to sign
I
a
apologize.
statement.
Oh.
What kind of statement?
Clears me and the show of any wrongdoing.
Wow.
Need the money, Dan.
Okay, yeah.
What? How could you need the money?
It's gone. I mean, it's invested. It's tied up.
Well, can't you talk to your broker?
He's not a broker. He's more of a bookmaker. He'd feed money.
Oh, Jesus.
You gave your money to a bookie who skipped town?
I want what I have coming, Dan. I have to get back on television.
Okay, well, so, as scummy as the situation is, this is your fault.
Sign this statement and get on with your life.
Sign the statement, Herb. Sign the statement. Who cares if it's true?
I'm giving you a chance.
You promised me. You get me that panel show, or I'm gonna bring you down with me, you lousy lying prick. You and Charles Van fucking Doran.
No, you're not.
I'll just tell everyone that it's a fraud. That'll warm them up. The fix is in this week on 21.
When's my next appointment?
The cover of Time. His mugshot will be on the cover of Time.
Oh, man. Well, dumb for him to give him that bookie his money, but it is still a corrupt system.
We're gonna put television on trial. Television. Everybody in the country will know about it.
Oh, boy. And that's where he comes in. Got it.
I've reviewed in detail the material submitted in your request. I sealed this presentment to protect the reputations of those unfairly implicated by a certain mentally unstable finger pointer. Along with important issues of federalism, dictate that I reject your committee's request at this time.
Well, that won't stop him.
Did anyone ever ask you not to talk to anyone?
Yeah, no one's gonna talk. Except, probably, more than likely, Stemple. So, that's gonna be interesting. And they're not gonna talk because they all got their money and didn't give it to a bookie and, you know, lose it all. So.
How do you think Honest Abe would do on a quiz show?
Well,
Honest Abe? Well, I think you do very well.
Yeah.
And of course, on a show like this, he'd be wonderful.
I'm sure he would.
Well, emphasis on Honest Abe. He would have not have answered the question first in general. The first question, that is. Gotta get all that attention.
Hello? I'm with the House Subcommittee on Legislative Oversight. The committee has jurisdiction over television.
I'm sorry. Please, have a seat.
I guess I'm not surprised that he's going to him first. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary about the quiz show you're on?
Oh, here we go.
Should I come back later?
Oh, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what. Why don't you meet me tomorrow? I'll take you to lunch at the Athenaeum. No, that's not funny.
Charles Van Doren.
It's just not funny.
Hey, Charles Van Doren. How you doing?
I'm worried about
Oh, goodness.
Well, look, I already know about this guy Goodwin, and I'm on top of it, so trust me.
Well, you don't understand.
I
have a name.
Charles Van Doren, he's dialing for information.
Oh, my God. The man is just on the phone. Leave him alone.
Hey, Charles, how you doing? How you holding up, all right? Hey, can I get an autograph for my wife?
No.
Give me an autograph for my wife. Come on, Charles, don't be a snob. Give me an autograph.
Jesus, what an annoying man.
So, back to this grand jury business.
I'm wondering. Dad!
Well, things keep popping up very conveniently for him.
Name the 3 heavyweight champions who preceded Joe Louis.
Oh, I know that. Jim Braddock.
See, he's smart. He doesn't... It's unfortunate. He doesn't need this cheating help and whatnot. It doesn't seem like he had much of a choice anyway, but he kind of did, so...
Al, I've been thinking, maybe you shouldn't give me the answers anymore.
Charlie, you're doing the right thing. Really. Everybody's making money.
Well, what if you just gave me the questions and I could look up the answers on my own? I mean, don't you think that'd be, well, be less egregious?
And here comes Herb.
You recently testified before a grand jury.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a minute, I'd really like to talk to you about it.
Gee. Finally. I knew it was just a matter of time.
Should have gone to him first.
Toby!
Oh
this
my,
is my wife,
oh
Toby.
my
This is
goodness.
Mr. Goodwin. He's an investigator from the United States Congress. They made me take a dive.
Who made you take a dive?
Dan Enright. He told me I had plateaued, that the ratings had plateaued. Do you think in a million years I wouldn't know Marty, and meanwhile Charles Van Moron would be on the show 11 weeks in a row?
I don't understand. Why didn't you just answer Marty if you knew it?
What? And throw away his future in television?
Would you please go inside and tell Gene Krupa to take 5?
Well,
it's a fix. It's all a fix. A setup. I made a study of it. They always follow a Jew with a Gentile, and the Gentile wins more money. What is that, a coincidence? Are you gonna nail Van Doren?
Look, first of all, I'm not here to nail anyone, okay?
You nail Van Doren, it'll be bigger than Sputnik. It'll be like a big blonde Sputnik crashing right down on his friggin' head.
He's a mess.
20 years.
Auntie Rita had an affair with Wendell Wilkie.
What? He's in on the family gossip. That's amazing.
Charlie's famous, like Elvis Presley.
I'm like Leopold of Belgium, usurped by his son before his time.
I suppose that makes me King Baudouin.
Why don't you just put it in the bank?
You don't understand that. There are all sorts of tax implications.
You think I can't understand the concept of taxes?
At this level, it's a bit more complicated.
And at my level, never thought of myself having a level, Charlie. What level might that be?
I mean, it's not as if the money fell into my lap. I worked for it.
Work? Oh.
Millions of people watch the game
Damn.
shows, Dad.
Dad seems a little bitter.
Of course, we don't have a television.
A television!
Semple tells me that Dan Enright made him take a dive from the show.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah? A little odd, though, don't you think? I mean, losing on such an easy question.
Frankly, they get Stumple can just run around and smear a man like Dan Enright to the United States Congress.
No, nobody's smearing anybody. I'm just trying to figure out the truth.
Can you just untie the bow line there and just shove us off?
I feel like he's not doing a good job with, like, dodging the question.
Well, how many people did you say testified in front of the grand jury?
What? What's your point?
Well, if what you're saying is true, then everybody lied.
Well, if there's a good reason to lie, which in this case is money, then everybody lied. So
I understand you've spoken to Charles Van Doren.
And Herbert Stample.
I was afraid of that.
He says, and I quote, that he was made to take a dive.
After the loss, Herb came to visit me in an agitated, well, I suppose the clinical term would be manic.
Manic, I was gonna say manic,
frame
yeah.
of mind. And I took the precaution of tape recording that meeting. Al,
Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
I need to get back on television. You get me that panel show or I'll tell everyone it's a fraud.
You know that's not true.
Who cares if it's true? The fix is in this week on 21.
Herb, I can't believe it.
Yeah. Out of context, but damn.
His medical condition.
What medical condition?
Television is like a monkey on his back, and we're not talking about someone who is necessarily stable to begin with.
No.
Oh, God.
So you paid for his psychoanalysis.
I felt responsible.
Yeah, you're too nice.
No, I'm not.
If it were up to me, I would have sent him to the skating rink the fast way.
It's like good cop, bad cop, and it works.
Absolutely. Well, you met him. Does he seem stable to you?
Well, I definitely have an inkling of what you're talking about. He told me this whole story about how when a Jew is on the show, he always loses to a Gentile, and then the Gentile wins more money. Who could dream up a scheme like that?
A symptom of his Van Doren fixation.
The thing of it is, I looked it up. It's true.
Oh! Yeah, I knew he had something in his back pocket.
You tried to blackmail him and didn't get you on a panel show?
What? Man, I didn't blackmail him.
What
are you talking about?
Thing on tape.
He promised me that panel show.
He didn't pay for your psychiatrist bills?
The point is, Van Doren got the answers.
Did not get the answers. If anything, he gave them the answers.
I know he got the answers.
Ah, bullshit, Herb. How do you know he got the answers?
Because I got the answers.
Yeah, so I asked that before.
What do you mean you got the answers?
Well, not very many answers. I just wanted to get out from under the financial thumb, as it were, of my in-laws.
I don't understand, Herb. I thought you were a victim in all this.
I didn't hold myself up to be the crown prince of education. I didn't preen myself on the cover of Time magazine with a face full of phony humility.
Good night, Herb.
I mean, true, but I feel if given the opportunity, probably. No one is the true victim in this. There is no pure victim. It's just the whole system that is corrupt.
What do I care if a bunch of saps?
I was one of those saps, Herbert.
Yeah. If anything, you lied to your wife, your partner in crime, so not great.
Van Doren isn't crazy. Maybe you should put him on the stand.
What's Van Doren got to do with this?
They gave Stemple the answers. Why would Van Doren be any different?
Exactly.
Dick's up here on a witch hunt. He thinks 21 is rigged.
Is it?
Get out.
Yes, it is.
I know you're lying.
Oh.
The word is bluffing.
No, he means lying.
Charlie, the only people who can implicate you directly are all in this room. Just think about that.
I'm not telling him a goddamn thing. Correct me, Dan, if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Plus, what did you do wrong? Everybody knows the magician don't saw the lady in half.
It's not exactly the same thing.
I never understood that. Sawing the lady, and I never got that. Right in the beginning, he was pretty pure, you know? He was very innocent. He was just like, you know what, I don't want to do that. And then he just got sucked into it. I mean, that happens to so many people, I guess. The fame and the wealth and the attention, I mean, get to you. Make you change. It's hard to say that you wouldn't change, but like, I feel like I wouldn't. I would try my best not to, I guess.
We watched your show. It's just amazing that you could make it look so easy. But your mother always said you were the actor in the family, Charlie.
Dad,
Uh-oh.
you never told me you felt pressure by finishing a book.
Oh, are you kidding? When I was finishing the Hawthorne book, I tossed and turned so
The
bad.
guilt is eating at him.
That is actually by one of my favorite poets, Emily Dickinson.
I'm sorry, Jim. Did you say Emily Dickinson? Oh, well, yes.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. All right.
Who is it?
Hey, I have a question for you.
The committee's been investigating the quiz shows. I was just looking at a kinescope of your appearance on 21. I noticed... Sawgrass?
I think he wants to talk.
Yeah. What is it?
Huh. Oh, maybe they tried to give him money or something to keep secret and he didn't use it? Something like that. I don't know.
Drive on by.
What?
Go around to the back entrance.
Okay.
Yep, that guilt, man. That guilt is eating him.
Excuse me, do you think he might see me before the peacock molts?
Who are you with again?
21 is rigged and I can prove it. One, how long they were on the show was all a scheme to keep the ratings up, and NBC made millions off it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the day-to-day operations of 21 are. Does Chairman Harris know every little thing you're up to? Then why are you the one that's sweating?
I mean, he's got a team of God knows how many lawyers, so he's feeling comfy currently, but that'll change.
Mrs. Nearing leads by a score of 21 to 16. It is a moment of truth, as it were, for Charles Van Doren, our reigning champion. You have the required 21 points.
Yeah.
We're going to let you listen in on this last round. Please do not divulge your score or speak in any way.
Oh, does he have like one more chance? Okay.
Name the kings of the following countries: Norway, Sweden, Belgium, and Iraq.
Could I take the third part last?
Turn it off. Turn the damn thing off.
Wow.
Good God, what got into you?
It's just too nerve-wracking.
I don't know. Is he gonna... Uh-oh.
Leopold.
No.
Damn.
Mrs. Nearing, you have just unseated our champion.
You don't know what to do? Give him another chance, that's what.
Wow. They're
Call it
panicking,
a bonus
they're
round,
panicking.
but get him on that show again.
Wow.
Well, at the Today Show, we decided, why not make Charlie our special cultural correspondent to the people and to the school children of America? How does $50,000 a year sound to you, Professor?
Wow. Well, it's very nice.
So if you will, just sign right here on the dotted line.
Wow. This is, oh, man. Damn! He's still in their clutches.
You're a very disruptive young man.
Ha!
You know, you got these crackpots coming out of the woodwork. You're snooping around asking questions. You don't have a shred of concrete evidence to...
Dan, let me tell you something. In this envelope are all the questions that James Snodgrass was asked on 21, okay? The odd thing about this envelope is he appeared on the show on January 13th, if you recall, yet somehow he mailed this to himself January 11th, registered mail. I'd say that's pretty goddamn concrete, wouldn't you?
And there you go. Got him.
How's that track feel clamped on your leg?
Ha.
Now, why should you be the fall guy here when NBC and Geritol are making the real money?
If I even hinted that the network knew, and they didn't know, they never let me through the door again.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion you're not going through that door anyway.
I just had a thought.
Oh?
Would you be interested in your own panel show?
Trying to weasel his way out. Almost perfectly had it, but when you have to rely on other people like you do with the contestants, someone's gonna fold, you know?
King Baudouin.
All of that.
Albert Cornwell, Charlie. Your father said he felt like Leopold. Remember? You lost on when you knew. Same as Temple.
I didn't even realize that. Excuse me.
I wanted to get off the show. You can understand that.
We're going to hold the hearings without you. I am not out to destroy you or your family, but I want to know, did you get the answers?
What is this? It's still that business with Stemple.
Well, there's a problem, Charlie. I found another contestant, a man named James Snodgrass, and he says he got the answers, too.
You sure these people are telling the truth?
He put all the questions in a sealed envelope and sent them to himself, registered mail. That was 2 days before he appeared on the show.
Doesn't prove anything.
But you telling me everybody got the answers but you?
Jesus, Dick, if someone offered you all this money to be on some rigged quiz show, instant fame, the works, would you do it?
Oh.
And...
Of course not.
No, throw the whole thing in, the cover of Time. Dave Garroway, $50,000 a year to read poetry on television. Would you do it?
I couldn't do it.
No.
And I would.
And there you go. And that's it. You just basically said you did it.
Look, do me a favor. Don't embarrass me. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Don't talk to the papers. Just disappear for 2 weeks. Please, don't make me call you.
Because he's right. He's not really trying to destroy him, so... Trying to take down the bigger guns. Now, this is gonna be hard. Even though he has, like, some decent evidence, it's gonna be pretty hard still. Because it's a company. It's a big company.
I was giving the questions and answers in advance. Generally, I would receive the questions and answers on Friday. Then we'd have sort of a rehearsal on Monday.
What do you mean by rehearsal?
He told me specifically not to smear my brow, but rather to pat for optimum effect. Of course, I'm schwitzing the whole time because they turned off the air conditioning.
Excuse me.
I mean, it's true. He's just saying it in his way.
I'll try 8 points.
Yeah, watch Van Doren. He's even better at it than I am.
Mr. Stemple, if I might refer you to
Mr.
your...
Stemple, are you suggesting that Charles Van Doren was also coached?
Of course he got the answers. Why would they give me the answers and not give him the answers? Why would they make me take a dive unless they knew the other guy would get to 21? It's illogical. You don't fix one guy without fixing the other guy.
Well, that has now opened up another door
Mr.
that
Stemple, have you ever
Dick did not want to open up.
received any psychiatric treatment of any kind?
Well,
5 sessions a week. That's pretty extensive, isn't it?
You prostituted your intellectual ability for money.
That's the difference between me and Van Doren. I admit it. I have my morality.
Wow.
Charles Van Doren is a professor at Columbia University, a PhD in literature.
and he can still
Hails from
lie.
one of the most prominent intellectual families in this country.
And he can still lie. 100%. Pretty much just judging him because he doesn't have that higher education, because he doesn't have that family name. It doesn't matter what status you have, you can still be an asshole, you can still lie. You're just a more polished piece of shit.
Our legal department has prepared this for you. We'd like you to hold a press conference.
Well, I'd rather not do it.
Wow.
Sorry.
Bold.
Haven't we been good to you?
Oh, here we go.
Haven't we treated you like part of our family?
Guilt, manipulation. Yep.
I know you're going to do the right thing.
You dug yourself too deep, man. Shouldn't have signed that contract. But again, bringing that whole contract to have the job onto a live studio audience being broadcasted to millions of homes, like, that's very inappropriate and shitty.
Enright's the key here.
Key to what? The jury here is the public. The public doesn't know Dan Enright.
The purpose is not to reform the souls of the contestants. The purpose is to reform television. It's like the Baron Blatt and the Sweezy case.
If you don't want to call him, fine, Dick. Just don't patronize me with your legal bullshit.
She's got a point.
How'd you like Dick's steak done, Bob Medium?
Absolutely no need to drag a man into the spotlight.
You dragged Herb Stemple into the spotlight. You are 10 times the man Charles Van Doren is, Dick. 10 times the brain and 10 times the human being. Meanwhile, you're bending over backwards for him.
I mean, in some ways she's right. He is protecting him a lot, but still. Because he is at fault, so. Van Doren, that is.
Well, we immediately commenced our own internal investigation to ferret out this corruption wherever it may exist.
Nobody brought the article in Time magazine to your attention?
I was in Europe. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. You traveled.
I didn't see it. I was traveling at the time.
Nice.
I relied on the excellent reputation of Dan Enright.
Dan Enright was more in the nature of an independent contractor.
Throwing him under the bus. Yeah, I mean, of course they're gonna have a game plan coming in. Deny everything, play stupid, of course.
Van Doren's made a statement.
I look like the part of the show, yeah? All I know is in the last hour, I've gotten over 200 telegrams from people asking me why I won't let poor Charles Van Doren defend himself.
Wow, 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 wow.
Mr. Van Doren made himself available to members of the subcommittee staff. He has advised them at no time was he supplied with any questions, and any answers was...
Yeah, I mean, he had to have known that this was gonna be an issue. Ugh.
Statement of yours took me a bit by surprise.
I know. We had a deal.
I asked myself,
Yeah.
why would he make a statement like that? He knows I'll come after him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember 5-6 years ago, my Uncle Harold told my aunt about this affair he had. So I remember asking him, why'd you tell her? You got away with it. I'll never forget what he said. It's the getting away with it part he couldn't live with.
Well...
I might take that chance.
A chance is what I'm giving you.
He really is giving him chances. He could really just bring him in and take him down, you know, but still.
Well, they're investigating the quiz shows.
Yeah, I read that. What's it about exactly?
Well, evidently certain of the Contestants were given the answers in advance. It seems the committee wants to call me to testify.
Just tell them the truth. You'll do fine. The real issue, Charlie,
the truth
is how
is
this
the
keeps
issue.
distracting you from your teaching. This and that.
Yeah, he's very, you need to be a teacher focused.
Dad, I can't simply just tell them the truth.
Yeah, wording.
Can't tell them the truth.
They gave me the answers.
They gave you the answers.
It's just television.
You make it sound like you didn't have a choice.
What was I supposed to do at that point? Disillusion the whole goddamn country?
Charlie, you took the money.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I took the money.
Is that what this was about?
No, it was mine.
Your name is mine.
He wanted something for his own. He was tired of being the son of, you know? So I think that's primarily why he did it. He wanted to be known for something. His name. Which is understandable, but
I'm sorry.
At the same time, foolish, considering
I'm really sorry,
the outcome.
The subcommittee calls Charles Van Doren.
God. Really tough to face this, but he literally has to. I have no choice.
Will you please state your name?
Charles Van Doren.
But again, it's like, it's on one hand, yes, he agreed to, you know, lying and be given the answers and whatnot. But we still have to look at the higher-ups who did do that. You know, we should focus on that more so. It's like, yes, he's wrong and he should be held accountable, but it's also like the company itself. They knew that they were doing this. That's the true wrong doing, the true wrong person.
I lied to the American people. I was scared. There was one way out, and that was simply to tell the truth. It may sound trite to you, but I've found myself again after a number of years. I have stood on the shoulders of life, and I've never gotten down into the dirt to build, to erect a foundation of my own. I've flown too high on borrowed wings.
Wow, what a line. At least he is sitting here and telling the truth, and now
Mr.
he's
Van
bold,
Doren,
you know, brave.
I want to compliment you for that statement.
Mr. Van Doren, I would like to join the chairman in commending you.
Mr. Van Doren, I'm also from New York.
Interesting.
A different part of New York. I'm happy that you made the statement, but I cannot agree with most of my colleagues. See, I don't think an adult of your intelligence ought to be commended for simply, at long last, telling the truth.
Yeah, that's what it kind of just comes down to. He's right, 100%. It's like, yes, thank you for being brave and, you know, saying the truth like that, but at the same time, you still did it. Wow. I'm glad this guy is getting applause for that. Yeah, because, I mean, Herb also said the truth, but he was met with, oh, he's crazy. Oh, you know, it was just the way that it was done, unfortunately, and, you know, his status, I guess, education level, and so on.
Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
This is going to be interesting.
The important thing now is for Charlie to get back to his teaching.
Did you know that the Columbia trustees are meeting right now? They're going to ask for Charlie's resignation.
Wow. Yeah, that's upsetting, but, I mean, consequences of his own actions.
Did the network or sponsor bring pressure on you to bring the same contestants back week after week?
No, sir.
Would they express any approval or disapproval of any particular contestant?
Never. Not to me.
He's the fall guy. True fall guy.
No, sir, they had no knowledge whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get television.
Yeah.
The truth is, television is going to get us.
There's always going to be a fall guy. It's not going to be the organization / company, so.
Mr. Enright, you make it sound like you were the victim here. Well, the sponsor makes out, the network makes out, the contestants see money they probably would never see in a lifetime, and the public is entertained. So who gets hurt?
I mean, I can't really say that he is much of a victim, though, in all honesty. Maybe in some ways.
Yeah, it's not like the quiz shows are a public utility, sir. It's entertainment. We're not exactly hardened criminals here. We're in show business.
Yeah, that's kind of fair, a little bit. It's like, it's not... Oh, Charles Van Doren went to work for the... today he writes books And lives in a... Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this is based on a true story. Okay, it is. And nor wherever implicated in the... Yeah. Yep. Wow. All right, so... Okay, because I was pretty sure that it was based on it, like, true things, but it really was. Okay, wow. So how closely accurate is this movie to what exactly, like, went on? Of course, you know, you have the movie, you know, magic, of course, added to it, but I wonder how, like, accurate it was to the real-life event. Okay, wow, very interesting. And just to finish my thought before that came up on the screen, I'm not sure if, like, a legitimate crime was committed. Like, I'm trying to think. I don't know. It was just morally wrong, and it was just, like, rigged, and it wasn't... I don't think there was necessarily anything, like, super legally, like, wrong, but I'm, again, just trying to think of it, thinking back on, like, what the moving parts of this. Definitely morally wrong, definitely rigged, definitely not great in that way, but legally, did they necessarily commit a crime? I gotta think about that some more. So yeah, overall, this was a very interesting, very kind of like, ooh, what's gonna happen sort of movie. A lot of moving parts, a lot of sort of underlying factors and whatnot that went into different things in this. It was very interesting in that way. I think you can dissect this movie more so than just, you know, a plain watch through of it. I think with, like, Herb in general, like, it was bad enough that he was basically, you know, accusing the company of the whole thing being rigged, but it was also the way, like, he, you know, acted. He was very boisterous and loud and very, like, no filter. So, like, people really thought that he was, oh, he's just crazy, and he had these psychiatric appointments. So it put him in a bad light. And so nobody believed him. But then you have someone else, you know, Charles, who comes along. He's educated and he has a proper name and he is very well known, like his father, the name, family name, whatever. He goes along with it the whole entire time, and then he gets, you know, the guilt gets to him, and then he says the truth. And then, like, you saw it in the whole, like, court scene at towards the end, where it's like, you know, a few people were like, oh, you know, thank you so much for telling the truth, it was very well appreciated, whatever. But and then that one guy was like, yeah, thanks, but you're wrong, like, you're still wrong. And that's when everybody applauded. And it's just very interesting that, like, you know, you have these two very different people, very in class, like, socioeconomic status and whatnot, and just how they're perceived and how their comments are, you know, like, perceived and whatnot, and who believes who and all that. Yeah, in terms of that and the topics within that, like, that can definitely be more explored and talked about. So it was interesting on that level, and then it was also just interesting, the whole story, and just is literally, you know, it's a quiz show, and it's rigged, and so it was fun. I enjoyed watching this overall. Like I said in the reaction, there was no pure victim. Everybody had their hands dirty. People lied, people took advantage of the system. No one was a pure victim. So that was definitely interesting in terms of, like, you know, the whole court case and whatnot. As hard as the decision would have been if presented with, like, here's a bunch of money, you just need to lie in front of everybody on national TV, I really don't think I could do it. Not only because I would feel incredibly guilty, but it's just the pressure of trying to keep up appearances and trying to keep up the appearance that you are telling the truth and this all is genuine, and it's a lot of pressure. And also, again, it's the guilt, and I couldn't do it. It's easy money, but it's also not easy money. I think being on a game show like Family Feud would be fun, but not like a quiz show like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or this one. I'm not smart enough for that. Anyway, overall, I think this was a very interesting watch, a very entertaining watch. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did enjoy the reaction, please feel free to like the video, and if you aren't already, please feel free to subscribe. And of course, if you want to watch the full unedited version of this video or anything else on my channel, you can absolutely do so over on my Patreon. It is $5 a month for that. And to those of you over on Patreon already, I really do appreciate you over there. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for your support, and I hope you're enjoying all the full unedited reaction videos and the access to the polls. If you want to find me outside of YouTube, you can absolutely do so. You can find me pretty much anywhere at OGBReacts. I'm mainly over on Twitter, but I'm also on Instagram and TikTok as well. And of course, a big thank you to Ryan for subscribing at that tier over on Patreon and requesting for me to watch this film. I hope you specifically enjoyed this reaction. Once again, this film had a lot of layers to it, a lot can be talked about with it, and it was just entertaining overall, and I really did enjoy myself. And once again, really do hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I hope to see you all in the next reaction video, whatever that may be. Okie dokie, toodaloo, adios, and goodbye!